Lots of E3 news today, as expected. Spent some time watching a lot of videos and there was a lot of interesting stuff. I was going to go see if I can check this thing out because I thought I had some extra time. It would be kind of interesting. I know a lot of you have told me that I should try to see what it's like to fly in a Cessna. Like, is that how you pronounce them? Like those planes? I still don't really see the opportunity to do it, but I guess this will be an interesting way to see one, although probably not in the most ideal way. Alright, let's go find this thing. Do people still think that's too dangerous to get like drone shots for fun? All the scenery and stuff I'm missing. Well, the first E3 thing I saw was it showed like Nintendo with Ubisoft showing like a game, and for me anyways, a fun thing is just seeing people having fun. It's kind of neat to see how emotional people can get just by creating like a game project. It almost reminds me of just like people that work like really hard to make like a film of some sort, and when there's a director or something like that whose work that they admire, who they get to work with, then they get all emotional. Is it supposed to warn cars of kids and stuff? Interesting way of alerting drivers. And then there was this game called Beyond Good and Evil 2 that was announced. It's interesting too because that game, like the very first one, came out like almost 15 years ago. So again, it's nice to see people really passionate about stuff they want to create. That reminds me again, you know, same thing with the drones and all that. Don't stifle creativity just because you have some kind of phobia on the technology. You're stopping people from doing things that can benefit the world in a positive way for the most part. Actually, funny enough about this area, I believe part of this is part of a native reserve land or something like that. So it made me wonder again about last time saying how there were some places where they can fly drones because Transport Canada doesn't have the rights to regulate, I guess, like things in a native land. So I wonder how that works actually when people fly drones and all that. Talk about nightmares and all that for Garneau. There was a game called The Crew, I believe, and you can see here like it's about flying like vehicles, riding vehicles as well, all over the place with planes and all that. I was just looking in that and I was like, this is probably what most people assume, like when you fly a drone, it's something that huge, you're flying it that crazy around like all the city areas and all that. For myself anyways, when I fly the drone and stuff, like with the camera, it's more about getting scenic shots, not about going nuts like that. I can see like if that is what like they made their laws out of, like these ridiculous interim drone laws, then yeah, but that's pretty narrow-minded if that's what you think you are stopping in many ways with those laws. Me personally anyways, all it did was stop people like me from getting like scenic shots there, like when I walked by the that area there. That's why I got it anyways, just as a camera to get the different perspective that you don't normally get every day. Funny enough, with all that about flying fast, like with the drones, I noticed like for a lot of people when they first fly, they really like that adrenaline of the speed of the drone and all that. And for me actually, when I first flew it, it actually wasn't on my mind. Again, it was more about cinematography. Because for myself, like when I play things like those types of video games where it goes so fast, it pretty much gives me the adrenaline rush already. I've pretty much been kind of like desensitized to the thrill of, oh my god, going so fast in that sense. Because it almost seems the same to me. Again, like I said, when you're flying the drone, it almost seems like it is like a video game with the way the controller is, how you can monitor it, seeing it in third person or first person. If anything, again, the main concern is just trying to keep it even more safe because I know this is real life and it's not a video game. But the ironic thing is most people, the other way around, they kind of assume the way the drone flies is like what they see in a video game or say in the Hollywood movie or something like that. That kind of looks cool. Too bad I couldn't get a drone shot of that. Well, this is apparently the spot where it landed on, I believe. I think they took it away by now. But it was kind of interesting. I was reading how apparently it said it ran out of fuel. Actually, I wonder where is all the fences if this is the place that it crashed in. That's what I'm wondering. You know, it makes me wonder again, like, ever since I've, you know, flew the drone and these dumb laws came out, I mean, it just seems like there's so many plane accidents. I mean, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, why can't people just treat it as a, you know, it happens, have safeguards, but don't fearmonger it? Because in many ways, I don't know, but to me, the drones seem just as safe in many ways when you think about it. Where that plane crash was? Was this where that plane crash was? Yeah. It's kind of interesting reading how apparently like the guy he knew for some whatever reason, like something was wrong, he tried to find like a place to land, and he was trying to decide like can't land here because there's too many people, so I guess he decided to drop here instead. So that was the safety measures. Like in that sense, you probably need like all your training and stuff like that, obviously. So like, I guess the guy did a good job finding a good place to land. I was reading something like it hit one of the power lines or something like that. I don't really see anything, but they said it was kind of fortunate. Oh, too bad I didn't have time earlier to come here. Then I could have showed you guys the actual plane. But yeah, they're all over the news anyways. If you guys really want to see it, I'll put a link to one of the news reports and all that too. Would have been interesting to see how they actually hauled the thing out. I mean, for me, when I read news like this, it isn't so much like say, oh my god, like airplane pilots are so dangerous compared to like drone pilots, like look at these safety records and all that or whatever. It's more about to show like, come on, if this is about safety, there's so many other things that happen on a daily basis. So take the time to make the laws more fair and reasonable. I mean, in this case, like, okay, accidents happen, but just have like, you know, safeguards and all. In some ways, I would say too, like, not to say you should fly like in a busy road and all that, but an accident with like, say, a drone like that, I don't think it'll be as severe as a huge aircraft, so you can't treat it like almost precisely exactly as if it was like an aircraft. Like, it just doesn't make sense in many ways. I mean, again, is that too much to ask? Reasonable laws that'll work for everybody, share the airspace. Like I said, that's probably not the most ideal way to see those type of planes like for the first time, which I couldn't anyways, but yeah, too bad I didn't actually get to see it. All right, see you guys later.